Hi, guys. Welcome to a little bit of woo woo. I'm your host, Jill Thomas, reporting to you from war ravaged Portland. Imagine my surprise when I woke up yesterday morning and I was listening to the soccer game in the field next door and the birds were chirping. And I was just deciding if it was a pants day or a shorts day because I was going to do what everyone in Portland does. I was going to the farmer's market and I saw the news. I had no idea I was living in a war ravaged area. Um, and I can tell you, I've seen this, news. We've seen this with Chicago and Memphis and LA and all that. It is quite a bit more scary when you're hearing about it and it's where you live. Just keep that in mind when you're hearing this and you're like, I live, that's 1,000 miles away from where I live. Yeah, but if it's coming to a city near you, it's a little freaky. I gotta admit, I didn't even realize how bad this situation was with ICE. Apparently, according to them, it's really bad. According to local news, which hardly has reported on this because it's kind of a nothing burger, it's pretty much a nothing burger. Apparently, there's about 40 feet of sidewalk in front of that ICE building, which most people in Portland didn't even know was there. And on any given night, there's either a dozen, sometimes 2 dozen um, peaceful, unarmed protesters in front of the building. And I will also say that having watched a few clips, because I did quite a few clips, because I didn't know about this, you guys. I'm like you guys, I didn't know about this either. Apparently, it's in a residential area, and a lot of the residents would really like these peaceful nighttime protests to stop because they want to get some sleep. And apparently, it's not always peaceful. A lot of times, ICE comes out and throws things at them. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is part. Oh, first thing, entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor. I am not a lawyer. I am not a stock portfolio manager. If you need one of those, call one of those. Speaking of not being a doctor, but anyway, I want to finish up my thought on this Portland thing. Yeah. So this is part of the anything but Epstein campaign. Now I got to tell you, I will give credit where credit is due. At least there's some consistency here. A few days go by, not a whole lot in the news, and then we start talking about Epstein again. And then something like this happens. Something happens. Um, do I think it's going to be bad? No, I think it's going to be really boring for those agents who show up. And we are, of course, have not been told exactly what's coming. If it's one of the, people from LA, one of the Homeland people from LA, I'm just going to tell you guys, it's kind of boring here. I mean, it's kind of boring. There's not a lot going on. I also assume that we are going to, as a city, get flooded with reporters who are going to want to report on this 40 feet of sidewalk with a dozen protesters on it. And I'm gonna let you guys know on a couple of things here. Like I said, kind of boring. So I would recommend something to read. I recommend bringing a couple of the Constitution. I mean, that's not terribly hard to read. You could just sit there and read that. Also, a rain jacket because according to the weather, it's supposed to rain every day next week. So bring some good shoes. A couple other things you should know about Portland. Quiet, not ton to do. Downtown areas, not a lot of parking. I would take an Uber. Also, there's no sales tax. So if you buy something, the price is the price. People in Portland are really, really nice. Really nice. If you look like you're going to want to maybe think about crossing the street, the cars stop. It's so weird. People are kind and generally pretty just chill, low key. There's a lot of farmers markets. There's one in every single town. So you can go to that. And, we like it here. So please be kind to it. If you're from Portland and you're looking at this going, what do I do? I'm going to say, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just pretend it's not even happening. And watch it on TV. There's going to be a lot of reporters that are reporting on it. As long as we don't take the bait, because that is exactly what they want. They want us to take the bait. Honestly, if they're looking for people to get involved and fight back, this was not the right place. I'm not saying people in Portland aren't going to be concerned and aren't going to do something, but I don't think it's going to be the kind that's going to make the evening news look really, really interesting. Okay. And you're not going to get the response that you want. And please, let's not give it to them. Okay. Let's just ignore this stuff. And, but each one of these little things leads closer and closer to the outrage that people are experiencing. And I do see, and I can't say when. I hate to say it. I can't say when. I wish I could give you a date and time. It's going to be Thursday at 5 o'clock. Yeah, I can't give you that. I do see there's going to be somebody, probably even Thomas Massey, going to bring up impeachment, okay, because of a lot of reasons. But one of them is going to be the price, right? And I know, I know people have sat down and calculated how much this is going to cost and how many other ways we could spend the money to send whatever they're sending, because they haven't really told us to see. Do I think they're going to back down at the last minute? I kind of think they might. They may just send a lot more ICE agents. I don't see much happening. It just feels like it's going to be really boring. And like I said, it's also going to be raining, because if you've never been to Portland, it rains a lot here. It's really pretty. It rains a lot here. That's why it's so green. I'm just saying. Yeah, this is not a hold my beer situation if you're somebody from this area. There will be times like that in life. This isn't one of them. In this case, it's, put your camera on and watch the spectacle. Even better, watch it from your couch. But this it's just gonna be a lot of nothing. And people have been to Portland, know how peaceful and quiet it is. A few years ago, there was problems. Again, that was only a few blocks. And of course, there is a downtown area that you wouldn't want to walk through at night. That's pretty creepy. I bet there's one of those in your city too. So just keep that in mind, okay, guys? I don't think anything's going to come of this. I really don't. I do think it's a test. I do think it's getting us off the Epstein thing and away from thinking of things that are much more frightening. Let's talk about other stuff too. There's other things that are on the anything but Epstein, discussion here. Speaking of escalator gate. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. I love good TV. I've told you guys, I like to watch TV. And I don't think you could write this outrage over this escalator gate thing. I don't think a writer could write anything funnier than that. I think it's hilarious, but it's also, I'm not the one who's going to get in trouble if they decide it was me who punched the stop button on the escalator, which is, by the way, right near the top. I noticed as I was going up an escalator how easy it would be to hit that button and turn that sucker off. Yeah, so there's nothing there, but it's just another example of getting overly excited about nothing. Okay, so let's talk about medical advice. Let's talk about medical advice. You guys are smart. You don't need me to tell you. Don't listen to me. I don't have a medical degree. In fact, you really shouldn't listen to anybody who hasn't gone to at least some basic understanding. Actually, and don't even listen to basic understanding of how the body works, especially how women's bodies work. So if you're trying to decide what you should do with this Tylenol, if you should be taking it or not, talk to somebody who actually did go to medical school. Do your own research. I mean, I researched the research that RFK quoted, and yeah, there's a lot of problems with it. I mean, there's a lot of problems. But again, don't listen to me. And that's the thing. Maybe you shouldn't. Now, I also wanted to know, like, why is 47 delivering this thing about Thailand? Isn't that supposed to be the purview of the FDA? Wouldn't he have been the one to speak it? Is it just because, I don't know. I was like trying to figure out why he was giving this message and not RFK. Maybe somebody could put a speculation in the comments. I couldn't give you an answer on that because it's massively important. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, I had a long list today, you guys. I talk fast and I drink a lot of coffee. Oh, people have been asking in the comments about this painting. I get that every once in a while. I'm just going to tell you guys. The artist's name is Adam Lishko. And 2 videos ago, I put a link to his gallery in the notes if you want to see it. But I grew up around art. My mom's an artist. And if I have nothing in my life, I will always have art. And so I do always have a lot of art around me. So just be aware of that. You'll always see art in the background. Okay. The other thing that came up this week in the news was, there were a couple of, maybe, I don't know how many episodes ago I talked to you about how they were going to be moving. I felt like they were going to move some of the World Cup events. Yeah, Trump is threatening to take away some of these events from some host cities that are supposed to happen. I do think that's going to happen, you guys. I think that LA may lose some of their games. I also think it's possible that, like New York or Boston might also have some challenges. It's interesting to me to see that Canada, I can't think of the name of this town, but one town in Canada who is actually going to be hosting a couple of these games has already said, hey, if you Americans don't want the money that's going to arrive from hosting the World Cup games, we'll take it. We got a big stadium here. We're already doing some of the other games. We'll take it. Just let us know which money you don't want. And we like loonies and toonies. We'll take the money. And even if you don't care about World Cup soccer, I know that each one of you guys understands that people are going to be working at those games, or they're going to be working at the hotels or the restaurants, and they get paid based on people coming. And if nobody comes, that's a lot of money being lost by these cities. I do think he's gonna get some of these to be moved. I think FIFA doesn't want to hear him threaten and continue to do this. They may just pull it. They may actually make the decision themselves. I feel like some of it might actually be FIFA. I can't say for sure though, because I feel like FIFA doesn't like the will he, won't he part of this, because it takes a lot to organize a soccer match that the world is coming to. And frankly, a lot of the world doesn't want to come here. So Canada sounds pretty good. I don't know. I think that's going to happen. I really do. The Olympics, though, along those same veins, the Olympics is further out. That's, I think, 2028. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think there's going to be a lot of talk about that, threats about that, but I still think the Olympics are going to happen in LA. I do. He said, we're going to move some of the events as though he can, right? I don't think it's going to happen though. It feels like it's further out. It's past when he will no longer be in power for one reason or another. I also wanted to talk a little bit about those visas. Those visas that apparently the HB1 visas, she's off the top of my head, I can't remember what it is. Those visas that are now going to cost $100,000 for people from other countries to come here and do tech work. Now, initially, if you hear it, you think, well, they're going to be forced to hire domestic, work. Sounds great. That's a very logical way of looking at it. But I've worked in that world, and I can tell you how this is probably going to play out. What's going to happen is that the talent they've already trained, who is from, let's be honest, most likely India, is going to stay in India and do their work from India. And they're still going to get the small salary. In fact, it's probably going to be even smaller than they would have gotten in Seattle or San Diego or LA or San Francisco. And instead of spending that money at the delis, at the housing places, that buying a car, all the things that money would have done in the US, it's now going to India. Now, it's less of it, but it's not going to change the behavior any. They're not going to necessarily hire domestic talent because domestic talent is more expensive. And frankly, UCSD, UC Irvine, and Harvey Mudd are not producing enough software engineers to give us enough supply to give for the demand that we have in the US, especially with all of those AI data centers coming out. I'm just saying, you guys, this is what I bothered by personally. This is my little personal thing, is that it wasn't thought through. And I don't think any of it is being thought through. I think it is just kind of somebody's initial impulse, the initial way things might look like it should be this way, but it's kind of not if you think about it. That's what's happening. Sorry. Anyway, so Canada has also said they wouldn't mind having some of those experts that would have come to LA or San Francisco to do work on a very technical thing. They'll take them. Canada wouldn't mind having some of our technologists, and they might even just let them stay and be nice to them. Oh my God. I'm just saying, guys, this one is not going to play out well. I do feel like there's going to be some pressure on the administration, and later, and I don't think it's going to happen right away, but I do think later they're going to lower it to something more reasonable, to like $10,000. I think it's $1,500 now. But the damage will have been done. If they're hiring new engineers, they're probably hiring them to live and work in India. And I don't think it's going to shift the behavior of any US companies in what they hire. I don't think they're going to hire domestically. I just don't. At least some of them won't. Let's put it that way. Because at the end of the day, these companies need a lot of engineers, and they're not cheap. And you can hire 10 of them in India for the price of maybe the price of one here. I don't know, maybe half of one here. Just saying, it's a huge price difference. And the pandemic showed us that if we can work at home, that home doesn't have to be in the US. Just saying. Okay. Interesting. Okay, we did talk about, I did say that I felt like there was going to be some impeachment stuff coming up. Leaks. I do feel like this next week, we're going to be seeing more and more of these leaks because people are really angry about what's going on, and some of the seemingly unhinged things that the Trump administration is doing, and is scaring people. And I do feel like we're going to be seeing little bits of leaks here and there. We already saw another picture from the Epstein estate, which makes me wonder, how much stuff do they have? And are they just going to drop like one picture a week? Or I mean, is that how it's going to play out? I don't know. I was a little surprised by that one as well. We are going to be seeing more of that. It's part of the let's not talk about Epstein plan, basically buying more time for them to not release those documents and throwing more and more things at us. I think the alien, the video that they claimed or that we were hearing was an alien, turned out to just be them, attacking a weather balloon. So, and once you hear that it's a weather balloon, you can't see it any other way when you look at how this fragment happened. I think that was intentional to try and distract. I don't mind that kind of distraction. The kind where you invade a city, I'm not as crazy about that, but that's just my personal opinion, you guys. My personal opinion. I want to talk. Oh, I'm gonna have to clean up the comments after I say this. I want to talk for a second about. I'm gonna say CK. Okay. You guys know he's not my guy. I'm sorry for the family. I'm sorry for anyone who experienced sadness seeing that happen, and anybody who watched it. Oh my God, that's just so sad. I don't feel like they got the right person, you guys. I feel like we're gonna find out that there was more people involved. Now, I'm not saying the person they got was innocent. I'm not saying that. And allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just saying I don't think that was what we're hearing is how it played out. Okay. It was too quick. Too much evidence was just thrown into the air. Like, here, look, see, court of public opinion. This guy totally did it. I don't think that's how it played out. And I think there's going to be more people involved. And I think we're going to find out more later. Okay, you guys. And I am heartened by the fact that both sides are looking at this narrative and saying, well, even though my guy said it, I don't think it's true. And it makes me feel better knowing that you guys do want the truth. And it doesn't matter that it may not be the truth that you would like it to be. Okay, guys. But I do see, I don't think that kid's going to get, I don't think he's going to go to jail for this for permanently. I don't think he's going to get convicted of it. It may be, he gets convicted of something, but I don't feel like he did it. I don't feel like he did it. I don't feel like that's what happened. So be interesting to see how this plays out. Now I admit I was hesitant to tune into that energy because when I tune into the energy of that CK event, it is as black gets, you guys, as dark as it could possibly get. It's evil. It really is, which tells me it's not just one guy. Okay. That's how it feels. That's my opinion. Happy to be wrong, but this is what I'm seeing. Government shutdown. Oh, I wish I had a different answer, but I feel like it's all bad stuff today, but I do see that happening. Both sides kind of want it. The Democrats are playing a game of chicken, trying to save Obamacare. The Republicans really want to, be able to lay off a bunch of people behind closed doors with nobody watching. And yeah, I'm afraid it's going to happen. I am sorry to see that. I do see it. I can't say for how long too, because it feels like it's like there's a movement of, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's just come back to the table and just give him what he wants and just kick the ball down the road. Because I do see a kicking of the ball down the road. So I think when they go back, it's going to be not for a terribly long time. Like I'm seeing we have some kind of an agreement. It keeps the government running for another 2 months. Like we go through this again is what I'm seeing. That's going to see it play out. I'm still recovering from what I hope doesn't happen to you guys. Yeah, I do see them kicking the ball down the road, and I think that's going to play out to where we'll be seeing this again into the early part of next year. But I think I can't tell how long it is, and that's the answer. I can't tell how long the duration is, but both sides do kind of want this to happen, and that's the troubling part of what I'm seeing, you guys. Interestingly enough, on the big picture, I do feel like the U.S. is really being knocked down a notch. I don't know how other ways to say that, but it feels like we're going to be isolated. I'm going to be isolated a little bit. Other countries are going to scrape up some of the coins that we were getting, and some of the talent that we were getting, some of the soccer games that we were getting, certainly a lot of the tourist dollars that we were getting. A lot of that stuff is going to go to other places, and it's going to be a win for some of the other countries and a loss for us. And it's going to happen a little bit more slowly over the next few years. Now, having said that, I said I don't think that 47 is going to be in power for too much longer. This isn't going to last forever, but it is going to take a while to unwind what happened and to get those relationships back, particularly with Korea. And Canada. Oh my gosh, Canada. Yeah, Canada and Korea for sure, and the US, UK. But it is going to happen, and we are going to get those things back, and things are going to be better. But In the meantime, what I would encourage you to think about is, at the end of the day, if you can't do anything about this, if you're seeing stuff on the news that you can't do anything about, it's time to work on yourself. It's time to work on yourself. You have a lot more power in this situation than you realize. You have the power over your life, over the things that make you happy, that bring you joy, the activities that you do. And yes, to a large extent, we do have freedom of speech. Okay. And we've proven that those are things that both sides really care about in a large way. Okay. So I'm just going to encourage you to know that this isn't going to last forever. Um, we are going to be fixing kind of what was undone. Some things aren't going to go back to the way they were, and that's just the way life is. If you can learn to be a little flexible, um, don't let yourself get pulled off path when all of this chaos is going on around you. If you have a goal, if your goal is to, I don't know, do something amazing, like have an amazing YouTube channel, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, I love it. I'm so excited for you. Then don't let yourself get pulled off path by what's going on in this chaos, because that's how you lose, right? Bring it back to you and see what's going on. Um, watch the things that you're being influenced by. If it's the news, just know that a lot of that is not really true. I think YouTube actually has a lot more of that, because it's people just going outside and filming in front of the ice center and going, this is what they're talking about. This is the big deal thing. What are you guys talking about? And then we all get to see that, right? Allow yourself to see that things are bigger than that. There is a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, how do you make your life better within this chaos? Okay. So there's a quote. I just watched the movie last night. It was really good. It was The Long Shot. I love that. I love that movie, you guys. I think it should have done better, but it didn't. Okay. The quote from the movie is, luck is for losers. You got destiny on your side. So you guys have destiny on your side. What is it you want to create with that? What do you want to create? I'm gonna pull a few cards. I'm actually gonna do this while you guys are watching. So, because I forgot to pull them earlier, but we're just gonna pull a few cards for next week. I am gonna be doing on October 1, I think, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday, whenever I feel like doing it. Maybe my voice will be a little bit better by then. I'll see what's gonna go on for this week. Oh, hope it's nothing. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's all gonna be good. Oh, okay. See, Hierophant. A little bit of hidden information, a little bit of government stuff this week. Obviously, we all know what that's about. Okay, this is good. 10 of Cups. Is it 9 of Cups or 10 of Cups? Oh, 9 of Cups. Sorry, 9 of Cups. This is all good stuff happening. This is going to be, so whatever this is for you, just decide that it's you who's going to get all these wonderful good things happening. Moving in the right direction is what I would say. Judgment, woo, resurrection, things shifting. This can also be the government as well. Literal resurrection, literal judgment, things playing out this week. So if this is happening in your life, something is going to shift. If you're going to court for something, I think it's going to shift and go in your favor. 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is really things that I used to love aren't as much fun. It's kind of also like being in a calm place and looking at this going, this just isn't making me happy anymore. Maybe I used to like it, but I don't anymore. And keep in mind that everybody interprets this particular card differently. I've noticed over the years seeing other people's interpretations. But to me, this card means you liked something, you were happy about it, but now you're going, I just don't know if I like eating chicken every single day. It's not really my thing anymore. So let's pull one more. Okay. Okay. This is emotional. This is a little bit of emotional. This is intuitive. I would say this is for each one of you guys. Use your own intuition. Use your own intuition. You're seeing stuff, you're feeling stuff. Allow yourself to go with what you think is true, not what I think or anybody else thinks, because that is always going to be the most important. And if you're looking to learn how to do the tarot, I would recommend buying a deck. This is just the Rider Waite. I would start with this one because it's the easiest one. It's the most universal symbols. And Amazon has like tarot card stickers that you can just put on index cards and then on the back write the meanings and start practicing. And it takes a little time. I mean, it takes a long time to learn really the tarot card deck, let's be honest. But start there and start looking at how you can develop a relationship with the cards yourself so that you can start to get a better feel for what's going to go on in my life. And just know that everything's going to be okay. It really is. I know the stuff I'm talking about didn't sound good because it's not, but it's not going to happen to you. You're going to live a happy life and decide that this week is going to be amazing, and just know that it is. Okay. And I'll see you again in a few days. I love you guys. Thank you for liking and subscribing. It really means a lot to me. And I appreciate all of your support. Thank you. See you again soon. Bye-bye. Love you.